First and foremost, I'm going to give you a disclaimer. I am not a financial advisor. I'm just a regular civilian like yourself who has happened to be successfully out of credit card debt, which accumulated to the balance of £6,000. I was able to do this through discipline and many factors, and I just want to share this piece of information that I believe will be of benefit to you. So again, I am not a financial advisor. This is 100% not financial advice. So you can take it or leave it. You can do with this information as you please, or you can forsake this information. It's up to you. But again, I am not a financial advisor, and this is 100% not financial advice. If you have any questions, I suggest you seek a professional in order how to solve your debts. But I'm just giving you my take and what I did in order to get out of £6,000 worth of credit card debt. So without further much ado, we are going to get into it right away. The first rule is this. You need to exercise discipline, bro. You need to exercise discipline because that is going to determine whether or not you will be able to pay off your debt. If you don't have discipline, all this advice I'm going to give you is going to be thrown in the dustbin. It's going to be thrown out the window. It's going to be thrown in the trash. Without discipline, you cannot do anything in life. That's what I've learned in life. Without discipline, you cannot complete anything. So you need to exercise discipline over your finances. You need to look at your credit card balance and say and affirm to yourself that you are going to get rid of it. Well, you're going to get rid of it this year, you're going to get rid of it this month, you're going to get rid of it this week, you are going to get rid of it. You need to prioritize because this debt is sinking sand. If you allow this debt to keep sinking and sinking, it's going to affect your life. And that's what happened for me. When I was in this amount of debt, remember, I didn't accumulate this debt in one expense. I accumulated this debt over abusing the credit card and at the same time being out of a job, which is a stupid thing to do because why would you borrow and you don't have any income to pay back what you have borrowed? That was very stupid on my part, but I digress. You need to exercise discipline. If you do not have discipline, this advice is nothing. You need to exercise discipline. You need to look at your credit balance and affirm that you are going to one day clear it all out. That is the only way you can see change. And that is what I did last year, even to the point where I was able to write down in my 2025 goal list the things I wanted to complete this year. I ticked it. I finally completed clearing this debt and it's over. I didn't want to carry it into 2026 because this is the balance that I was carrying from 2022 into 2025. And it was going up, up, up because of the interest rates. So therefore, you need to exercise discipline, people. You need to exercise discipline. Without discipline, you're done. Rule number 2, you need to cut off unnecessary expenses that you are making every month. And these are expenses which I call them as pleasures. Pleasurable expenses such as Netflix, Paramount, Amazon Prime, Just Eat, Deliveroo, Uber Eats, ordering food. All these things, you need to cut them all out, bro. You need to cut them all out. And you will realize that you're saving up to like £50 or more. All these things, you need to give them up, man. Even when you're being charged for a service that you're not really using, get rid of them. It's costing you money. It's costing you money. Remove your debit card, remove your credit card from them, cancel your memberships. Remove them. You don't need it. That's what I did. I cut off Uber Eats, I cut off Netflix, I cut off all these services, even Paramount. I cut them all off because I wanted to make sure that this debt was cleared. And I needed to save as much money as possible so that I can put in more money than the minimum payment requirement in order for me to eliminate this debt. So you need to give up these pleasurable expenses. Get rid of them. all these things that you enjoy, I'm sorry, but you need to get rid of them. You are in a hole and you need to get up out of it. Otherwise, this hole is going to swallow you dry. I'm telling you, you need to give up these expenses. Spotify, Apple Music, Audio Mac, I mean, all these apps, yeah, get rid of them. Cancel your membership, cancel it all. Just cancel it. Cancel it all. And you will realize that you're saving a lot of money and you'll be able to pay more money than you need, than you're required for, sorry. And you will end up paying off the debt slowly and slowly and slowly. All these expenses, get rid of them. You don't need them. You don't need them. Sorry guys, had to use this camera for my laptop because my original camera had died on me. But we're not going to waste time. We're going to keep going. So rule number 3 is this. You have to be on a budget. You have to make sure that you are balling on a budget and you are taking control of your finances and watching every dime that you spend. And for it to be a better experience for yourself, you and your family have to be on the same page. You know, budgeting is all subjective. It all depends on your circumstances and your lifestyle. Let's say for me, I'm just a single individual that's living on his own. So therefore, all the money that I'm making is for me. I don't have to take care of anybody and I don't have any children. So I am more likely going to have more freedom, whereas other people, they may not have that freedom to do what they please with their finances because they may have mouths to feed, they may have a spouse, but the majority, the most important thing is that you and anybody else have to be on the same page when it comes to taking control of your finances. So budgeting is very important. It is the fundamental of finances. So what I would do is that how I did it on my side, there was a technique that I'm doing, that I'm applying in my life daily, is that I always keep these receipts of any money that I spent on a day. So, and in order to pay off the debt which I accumulated, I would basically set myself to a budget limit of £30 a week. £30. That is very, 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 very little, especially in a city called London, you know, especially with all the transport. However, I was able to manage that budget because I will pay everything first. So I will put money aside for my transport, getting to and from work. I'll put money aside to pay my rent. I'll put money aside to pay all my utility bills, everything that is necessary for a roof over my head, I will pay. And the rest will be for myself, and I will budget myself to £30 a week. So that will come to a month of £120 or even £130 or £40, depending on how many weeks are there in a month, you know. So I always keep that discipline and make sure that my budget is not abused and I don't go over that budget. So for example, what I would do with these receipts here, if I spent money at a supermarket and I spent £10, let's say today is Sunday. There's 7 days in a week. Today is Sunday. So I spent £10 today on groceries. The money that I have left up until Saturday, which is the last day of the week, I'll be spending £20. That's it. So within that week, from Sunday to Saturday, I would spend £30 on myself. That is it. And even if I slightly go over whereby I spend £35, I will have £25 to spend for the following week, because I was very disciplined and I wanted to make sure that I do not spend above my budget, and I will stay within my budget, and I will be able to pay more than the minimum payment requirement at the end of the month to my creditors. That was my goal, and I made sure that I would achieve that. So you have to be consistent, and I realize that when you shrivel yourself, or when you're balling on a budget, it forces you to become creative. So in my culinary skills basically start to go through the roof. Instead of me buying bread, I will bake bread. Instead of me paying £20 for pizza delivery, I will take time to make the pizza myself. So any food or any groceries or anything that I enjoy doing, I will find time to be creative and to create it myself. When it comes to me wanting to buy sweets or cakes, I will bake a cake. I will do things myself with my own hands. Instead of me ordering online and doing this, as far as the next guy goes, I would do things differently because I put myself on a budget. So it forced me to become creative to make sure that I'm saving as much as money, but still able to feed myself and maintain myself. So it's not as if like I am starving myself of all the luxury and all my nutrients that I need. No, I will still be maintaining myself and looking after my health and ensuring that, I'm able to um, enjoy my life basically without spending too much money. So that was my goal basically, and that's what I was doing. So whenever I get a receipt, I would make a note on an Excel spreadsheet. I'll keep a note. If I spend £15, I have £50 for that week, and I will stay within my budget. That is it. For you guys, it may be more. It depends. It depends on your income. It depends on your outgoings. It all depends on the amounts to feed or what you are able to do and not do. So as long as you are within a budget, you will be able to pay more than the minimum payment to your creditors. So if your creditor is charging you £100 for, to pay off your debt, yeah, you can end up paying £300, which is £200 above the minimum payment. So you are basically diminishing your debt slowly and slowly, slowly and slowly, or even quickly. That is the whole point, is to pay more than what you are required to pay for, and eat into the debt more quickly and assuredly, so that you can be able to, you can be able to get rid of this debt quickly. That's the whole point of the game. So that's what I done. So me being able to spend £30 a week or spending just over £100 a month, it made me have a lot of money, and I'll put it into the debt, and it will just go down quickly and quickly. So I was able to pay off £6,000 within 8 months because I wanted to make sure that this thing will no longer follow me into 2026. I wanted it to die and perish in 2025, and that's what I've done. So I kept that up for as long as I could. So yeah, those are the 3 rules: discipline, giving up unnecessary expenses, and budgeting. That's going to help you circumvent your debt. And it taught me a lot. It really taught me a lot. And the number one thing you should do is this: after you finish paying off your debt, is reflect. You have to reflect. Why did I get into this financial hole in the first place? Why? What happened? You have to look into yourself and think back, like, what got you into this predicament? And as for me, the main thing is that I was using a credit card while I was unemployed at the time, back in 2022. It was a very dumb decision. Like, why are you spending borrowed money that is not yours and you have no income to pay for it? It's common sense, but it was a silly part, and I understood that. So it taught me a lot, and I've learned from it, and I moved on. And secondly, because of these changes that I had to make, it taught me to be very creative. Instead of me paying 20 to 30 pounds for Pizza Hut delivery or from Domino's, I started to make pizzas myself. I would take the time and the ingredients, get the yeast, get sugar, get salt, get plain flour, and make it to a nice dough. Passata sauce, mozzarella, all these ingredients, or even going out there to mix certain ingredients to make a cake. So the things that I will pay for to enjoy myself for my convenience, I will inconvenience myself by going out there, put my hands to work, and I eat and I enjoy myself, And sometimes home cooked meals is better than fast food. It's better than outside meals. And instead of things that I wanted, I said, no, not at this time. I don't need. You don't need. You have to discipline yourself. You don't need. Not right now. Right now is to make sure you cut off your debt and you move forward and you can be financially healthy, because financial health equates to financial wealth. You can't be wealthy and not be financially healthy. There's a lot of celebrities out there who look like they got money, who look like they hit the lick, but they ain't got it like that. It's not about how much money you're making nowadays. It's how much money you are able to keep, because the way the world is going, things are very unpredictable. You don't know what may happen tomorrow. People are getting fired. People can find themselves in a situation where they have to pay funeral or wedding expenses, so much stuff. So you have to look after your finances and watch every pound or every dollar that you're spending. And that is the name of the game, man. So that's all I can say. And even learning from this, it's taught me a lot about vouchers and about coupons like Tesco Club Card, Morrison's Mall Card, Lidl, Poundland, all these stores. And even coming to the shops around, shopping at a time when there's a sale and looking at discounted products, or even going to the market, the actual where sole traders will sell a bowl of oranges or fruits for £1, whereby if I go to Tesco or go to another store, I'm paying like £1.80. You see, when you're balling on a budget, it forces you to become creative, and that's the glad thing I learned from this whole financial journey. So I'm able to, watch my expenditure and get more for my buck, not just following the norm like everybody else. So these are the things that I apply to get out of debt, and yeah, pretty much. And I really hope that this advice will help you in your journey. And remember, this is not financial advice. This is just a man telling you his experience. So I do hope that you'll get better and life goes on. And when it comes to credit cards, use it for what it is. Obviously, it's good for points, it's good for perks, it's good for building up your credit score. Because even in spite of all this, I was paying always. Didn't miss a credit card payment, and my credit score is through the roof, like it's green, like it's gone up. But at the same time, it's like it hurts because I was meant to go on holiday in 2025. I was meant to go to Ghana in 2025, but because I was so disciplined and prioritizing that this debt should be cleared, I didn't go with my family. And that sucks. But then again, hey, you have to make sacrifices because it's all about prioritizing and making sure that your debts are settled. So, yeah, basically, and then again, when it comes to money, it's not about who got the most money. It's about how much that person is able to keep. That's very important. So yeah, I still apply budgeting and on the money that I have left at the end of the month, I will invest it and I'll put it to good use. And then, making sure that I'm spending within my means and not going above it. So hope you all enjoy this video. Hope you do well and be great. And remember, financial health is financial wealth. Just like health is wealth, financial health is financial wealth. God bless you all and take care.